to New York City on a beautiful Sunday evening from the roof deck here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. It is 8 p.m. It is 82 Fahrenheit, which I believe is 28 Celsius. We're on the 17th floor roof deck on Central Park West on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. Just a beautiful sunset tonight. Hopefully the signal is coming through okay. Central Park is directly behind me, and the sunset is directly ahead of us facing west. Panning around to show you the views from the Upper West Side. And this is Central Park. So the other side of the park where we're looking is the Fifth Avenue side. That is all the Fifth Avenue side of Central Park. And I'm on Central Park West. And it is just gorgeous out. It is windy up here on the roof deck, but at ground level, it really isn't all that windy. We're up on the 17th floor roof deck, so it's a little bit more windy up here, 17 flights up. That water you see is the Central Park Reservoir. It's about 1.58 miles around. Very popular with runners and joggers. And if you look right across here, that roof deck you might recognize from the very last scene of the movie, The Big Short, starring Steve Carell. If you go on YouTube and search The Big Short final scene, you'll recognize that roof deck where the camera is pointing at. That's where Steve Carell filmed the very last scene of the movie. But let's go back to the sunset. Whoa, the wind really picked up. Hopefully the signal and the volume is okay because it is quite windy up here, so hopefully this is coming through okay. Right now it is 8:05 p.m. in New York City. Camera is facing directly west, overlooking a gorgeous sunset in New York City. The sunset tonight in New York is scheduled to set at approximately 8:25. And right now it's 8:05, so we have about 20 more minutes before the sun officially sets on this gorgeous Sunday evening here in New York City. It's 82 Fahrenheit, which is approximately 28 Celsius. We're on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, here in New York City. It's not this windy at ground level, but the wind up here is indeed quite strong. Hey Phil, how are you? As of right now, I believe it's just you and me, Phil. Welcome. And you are under no obligation to Dean is here also. Hi, Dean. Welcome to New York City. We are on the Upper West Side of Manhattan, just looking at a gorgeous, gorgeous sunset. Good evening to Phil and good evening to Dean. Good to see you on here. Just a gorgeous sunset tonight. Hopefully the imagery is coming out okay and clear. Japan, seen from Japanese. Hello. Domo arigato. Thank you very much for being here. Appreciate it, Japan. You used to watch when I was at my old place. Okay, Dean. Yes, I moved into this building in October of 2017. So I've been here about a year and a half. I'm on Central Park West. I'll show you the park. Keizo! That's Keizo. Do you guys see Keizo? Fabulous. Whoa, the wind just really picked up. This is Central Park right here. Keizo, K-E-I-Z-O. He goes by Japan, seen from a Japanese, is a fabulous YouTuber and a fabulous periscoper. Give him a follow, does great broadcasts. Thank you for being here, Keizo. Dean, it's been a long time. Dean, yes, thank you. Thank you for being back on here. Appreciate all of you being here. You know, it's really weird. I think 3 of you are on here, but it's only telling me that 2 people are on. So perhaps the counter is not correct. But that's all right. I'll figure all this out. I am not as familiar with YouTube Live as I am with Periscope Live. So I'm still learning how to broadcast on YouTube. So hopefully you can be patient with me and bear with me as I get up to speed and learn how to correctly broadcast on YouTube Live and read the statistics and the strength of the signal and everything else that goes along with it. Just a gorgeous sunset today. It is quite windy up here on the roof deck, but that's all right. We have a beautiful view nonetheless. You happen to see that. Okay, so Phil, thank you for mentioning that, because I wasn't even sure the notifications on YouTube were turned on for me, so thank you. And Dean says he used to watch me on Periscope. Thank you, Dean. Appreciate that. I still do broadcast on Periscope, and I'm trying to also start to broadcast much more on YouTube. But because I don't broadcast on YouTube nearly as much as I should, I am not as familiar with how to broadcast on YouTube Live. So I'm glad you mentioned the notification worked. I still don't think I have the counter working correctly, because there's at least 3 of you on here and it's showing me only 2 are on here. So the counter is wrong, but that's all right. I'll learn as I continue to broadcast, and I appreciate all of you being here. And for those of you who might be watching this on replay, I thank you as well. Just a gorgeous sunset today. Your live, oh, interesting. So Phil's live chat says 0. My live chat counter is telling me 2 people, but yet there are 3 people on here communicating with me. So heaven only knows how that works. I'll have to figure that all out. It's all new to me. Still learning my way through YouTube Live broadcasting, but eventually we'll get the hang of it. It is 1:10 a.m. in the UK where you are. You're off to bed after my broadcast. Dean, wow. Thank you for staying up so late. Dutchie, Shirley Dutchie, it's great to see you. How are you, Shirley? So good to see you. Yes, so we are facing west, looking at a gorgeous sunset on a very windy roof deck tonight. I am on Central Park West in New York City, in Manhattan, on the Upper West Side. It is 8:10 p.m. on a Sunday evening here in New York, 8:10 p.m. Today is the 14th of July in New York City. 8:10 p.m. Sunset's scheduled for about 8:25 p.m. So we have about 15 more minutes. I am on Central Park West. I'm going to pan the camera around so you can see the park. So that's Central Park West. That is the 5th Avenue side of Central Park, and I'll tilt the camera down. That's Central Park West right there. I'm up on the roof deck of the building that I live in. That's the Central Park Reservoir, and this is the view from the roof deck of the building that I live in. I live on a much lower floor. I'm just up on the roof deck. But let's go back to the sunset, because that's the main attraction here tonight. And here we are back at the sunset, which is now starting to head across below the horizon very slowly but surely. The sky is really beautiful out west right now. I just came back from a jog in Central Park. I'll show you. I'll go back to the reservoir. I just ran around the reservoir and then back here through the park to my building. So I ran a full 2 miles. The reservoir is 1.58 miles around, but I also ran through the park and back to my apartment, which made my run a 2-mile run. Now, I did not run nonstop for 2 miles. I cramped up a little bit. So I walked a little bit of the way, but nonetheless, it was a 2-mile excursion. We'll do it that way. Absolutely, Phil. Running is awesome. I recommend you guys, if you're able to take up jogging or running. And you don't have to run fast. I run 10-minute miles, which really isn't all that fast. And if you run slower than that, that's perfectly okay. If you run faster than that, that's okay too. Great exercise. Look at this sunset, just beautiful. It is 82 Fahrenheit, 28 Celsius. Quite windy up here. It is not windy at ground level like it is up here on the roof deck. But because I did just come back from a run, it's great to feel this wind. It's cooling me off, which is awesome. You like cycling? Oh, very good, Phil. Great exercise to go cycling. I think cycling, swimming, and running and boxing is also great exercise. You go walking in the park with your dog. Excellent. I saw a lot of people walking their dog just now in Central Park. Very crowded in the park, especially this time of evening because the temperatures are starting to cool down, so it's more comfortable both for the humans and for the animals. I'm glad you like the view, Dean. I try and go running in Central Park, weather permitting, several times a week. I ran about 4 times this week in Central Park. I ran 3 times a few days ago during the week, and then again today to wrap up the week. So 4 times total I ran in the park. And I'm going to run again tomorrow if I can, depending on the weather and the time I get home from work. I hope the camera is able to capture the beautiful sky straight ahead where the sun is setting. It's like orangey, pink, yellow. It's just beautiful. It was a warm day where you are also. Awesome. I'm enjoying the summer. I hope all of you are too. Whoa, the wind just really picked up. Yeah, we had a very warm weekend here in New York City. We had a power outage here last night in New York City, not up here, a little bit further downtown. The power was out for several hours. This building never lost power. We were lucky. Phil says the picture, yes, Phil, many people have told me the picture here on YouTube Live is more clear and better than the quality picture on Periscope. Many people have said that, and you just reaffirmed it, so thank you for that feedback. Much appreciated. Right now it is 8:15 p.m. We are on YouTube Live. We are broadcasting live right now on Sunday, July 14th at 8:15 p.m. So if you are watching this outside of July 14th at 8:15 p.m. New York time, then that means you're watching it on replay, and I appreciate all of you, whether you're here live or watching on replay. Thank you. Thank you for watching my broadcasts. It was in our news about the power. It made it all the way to the UK, huh, that news? Yeah, Manhattan on the west side lost power from Midtown Manhattan all the way up to West 72nd Street. I am slightly north of West 72nd Street, so I did not lose power. I was actually visiting my parents this weekend, so I was not even here in the city, but I spoke to the doorman today, and he said the building did not lose any power. Indeed, Phil, the billboards in Times Square went out. And J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, was doing a concert at Madison Square Garden, and all the lights and the power went out in the middle of one of her songs. So she had to cancel the concert just a few songs in. So she felt terrible because, of course, all the fans had to leave the Madison Square Garden. I'm sure they'll get refunds or she will reschedule the show. But yeah, it was pretty wild here yesterday. But everyone stayed calm. There were a number of people who were stuck in elevators, but our first responders did a great job in getting them all out. And all the power was restored by midnight. And today, so far, there's been absolutely no problem. Right now it is 8:16 p.m., so we're getting closer and closer to an official sunset. Sunset is scheduled at 8:25, so the sun will set in almost a little less than 10 minutes, I guess. And it's already starting to fall behind the horizon. We're facing directly west on a beautiful Sunday evening here in New York City. Gorgeous sunset here on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. A windy roof deck tonight, but it's awesome because it's 82 degrees and I just came back from a run in Central Park, so this wind-filled roof deck is cooling me off, which is awesome. It's so weird, the counter is jumping back and forth, showing that there's 2 people on, then it jumps to showing me that there's 5 people on, and now it's showing me there's 3 people on. So I have no idea why YouTube Live, the counter is just going a little wacky, but Dean, you're off to bed now. Have a great night. Dean, have a wonderful evening. Thanks for being here, Dean. See you again soon. And just a gorgeous sunset here. I'm going to pan back around to Central Park. Shirley, you're still here. Excellent. Thank you for being here, Shirley. Thank all of you for being here. So this is, again, looking over Central Park. There's the Central Park Reservoir. That's the Fifth Avenue side. All of that is Fifth Avenue. And that's Central Park. But we'll go back to the sunset because the sun is setting in just a few minutes at this point. Am I having another salad for dinner? I am, Phil. I'm going to have a grilled chicken tossed with salad, including some cucumbers and carrots. Yes, I am. After this broadcast. Whoa, the wind really just picked up. Whoa, the wind just went crazy. I'm really holding on to the phone right now so it doesn't blow out of my hands. Whoa! Sorry about the mic, or the microphone is probably picking up the wind. Whoa, the wind just really picked up the last 30 seconds for some reason. Sounds good? Okay, thanks, Phil. It is so weird how this counter on YouTube Live just keeps, at least for me, it just keeps flashing different numbers. So I don't know if it's accurate or not, but that's all right. As long as you're here, that's all that matters. I'm still learning my way around YouTube Live because I do not broadcast on YouTube nearly as much as I should. So when I do go live, I'm not as familiar with the controls or whether it's coming through okay, if the sound is okay, if the picture quality is okay, if you can hear me good, if the counter is correct. See, now Shirley, her counter is showing her that it's 0, which of course can't be true because both Shirley and Phil are on here right now. So it's just really weird, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. So the sun is about halfway behind the horizon now. It's 8:20 p.m., so we have 5 more minutes to go. And that will be our official sunset in 5 minutes at 8:25 p.m. At least according to the internet. I Googled what time the sunset would be today in New York City. And the response was 8:25 p.m. and right now it's 8:20 p.m. So we should have just 5 minutes left and then the sun will set. And I hope the camera is capturing the beautiful sky colors. It's yellow, pinkish, orange, red. It's just gorgeous right now. Just spectacular. This is all the Upper West Side of Manhattan. You made gelato today. Oh, Phil, awesome. I love gelato. I absolutely love gelato. Needless to say, when I was in Rome, I haven't been in Rome in several years, but the last time I was in Rome, I had lots of gelato. Do I get Wi-Fi on the roof? No, Phil. I am on an AT&T signal on my phone. I am not on Wi-Fi. I have, of course, Wi-Fi in my apartment, but not up here on the roof. So up here on the roof, I am on my regular AT&T signal. And this is on an iPhone 7. So I am on an iPhone 7 AT&T signal, data signal. I've had this iPhone 7 for a couple of years, and I like it. It seems never really had a problem with it. I believe Apple is coming out with some new iPhones later this year or early next year, so we'll see. Maybe I'll upgrade when they come out with the new phone, but maybe I won't, because I'm quite happy with the iPhone 7's performance. Nothing beats gelato in Italia. I agree with you, Phil. Totally agree. So it's still windy, but it did quiet down compared to how the wind was blowing just about 3 minutes ago. I hope I didn't jinx it by just saying that. Although it is still windy up here. I have been to Italy, yes, I have. Italy is, for those, Phil is talking about a great area in the Flatiron district here in New York City called Italy, where you can do some Italian grocery shopping. There's several restaurants. There's little food kiosks where you can get gelato, pizza, all different types of Italian food. You can also get seafood. It's really interesting. Good stuff. I'm just going to quickly pan over the park, and then we'll watch the sun finally set behind the horizon. Once again, this is Central Park. There's the Central Park Reservoir. That is the Fifth Avenue side of the park. And I'm going to quickly go right back to the sunset, because we've only got about 2 minutes left before the sun completely disappears behind the horizon. You went to Italy in Bologna. They are building one in Dallas. I did not know they were building one in Dallas. I have not been to Dallas, and actually I've never been inside the city of Dallas. I've been to Fort Worth, and I've landed at Dallas Airport a couple of times, but I've never been to the city of Dallas. I've just been to Fort Worth. And the people in Texas are very nice, but this time of year, it is so hot in Texas. You don't want to travel to Texas here in July. You're better off going to Texas in the late fall and early spring versus this time of year. There's no humidity in Texas, but it gets so hot, you feel like you're baking in an oven. And that is not an exaggeration. So the sun is just about set now. It's like 90% behind the horizon. We probably just have a minute or so to go, and then it will have set. We're facing west, obviously. Sun sets in the west. And right behind these buildings, although the camera, you can't see it through the camera or from this roof deck, is the Hudson River. So right behind these buildings off in the distance is the Hudson River, and then New Jersey, and that's the direction that we're facing. You did a 39-mile paid bike ride yesterday, very hilly but not very humid on Saturday. Wow, 39 miles, that's great exercise. Good for you, Phil. Awesome. I'm not sure what you mean by a paid bike. Someone paid you to ride the bicycle, or you had to pay to rent the bicycle? I'm not sure what that means. Someone sponsored you to ride the bicycle? But regardless, 39 miles is fantastic. Good for you. And the sun has set. It's pretty much gone now. That's the remnants of it. And it is 8:25, just like they predicted. So the sun has set. This is the remnants of it, and it's just beautiful yellow, orangey, pinkish clouds right where the sun has set. And it is now heading west across the country to California. You pay to do the ride, which is sponsored, and it has rest stops. Oh, okay, very good, Phil. Good for you. That's awesome. You got some great exercise. Definitely killed a lot of calories there. Got a lot of calories worked in that you exercised off your body, so good for you. My 2-mile run, I forgot what the calorie count was for me. I think it said 180 calories, something like that I burnt off during my run. Of course, I'll put a lot of that back on when I have my dinner, but that's all right. Do I do 5K runs? I have to burn it. Yes, today I did not. I ran only 2 miles today, but yes, I have done 5K runs, although not recently. I cannot run more than 5K. I will just get too tired. I am not a distance runner, but 5K is pretty much my max. I'm more of a 2-mile person, like a 3K person, but yes, I've done 5Ks. I'll be in Vero Beach in December for the annual Candy Cane Run, Vero Beach, Florida, which is a 3K run. They do it every year. So I'll be doing that again in December. I have relatives in Vero Beach, Florida, so I just fly down for the weekend, run the Candy Cane race on Saturday, which is December 7th this year. And that's just a fun 3K race, but it's a lot of fun. And the cost to sign up for it all goes to charity, so it's really good. Yes, it is humid, but when you go in December, it's really not that bad. The humidity, it can still be quite warm, but not as humid. At least the times I've been there in December. And it's in the 70s, low 80s. Although sometimes when I've been there in December, it's been warmer than that. All right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up because the sun has set. I really want to thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate all of you. And I'm going to be back again, trying to do more YouTubes more often. I want to continue doing Periscopes, but I also need to start doing more YouTube Lives. Phil, thank you so much for being here. Shirley Dutchy, if you're still here, I thank you. Phil, thank you. And everyone else that was on here, and also who will be watching on replay. Appreciate all of you. Thanks so much for joining me here tonight, and we'll be back again more and with more sunsets and more YouTube Lives. Take care. Bye for now.